From the deep, dark reaches of Star Trek Online comes Nikodas, Tabitha, and Greebog with another episode of Fleet Action Report.
Hello, and welcome to Fleet Action Report, the show where we don't just play the game, but we teach you how to play the game.
I'm Tabitha. Over there is Nikodas, and of course we have the essential Greebog.
Essential today. I like it.
He's only Nicholas around Christmas time.
Yeah, and that's the only time he acts like a saint too.
All right, this is episode 162, Nikodas Strange Devices. You can go and support us at coffee.com/Greebog. I'll put the obligatory. Hopefully it'll work this time. This one. There it goes.
I need some coffee.
Oh,
please give us some coffee.
Yes.
So is it mine because this was my suggestion?
Yes, this is all your fault.
All right,
sure.
I'll take that. Greebog, how have you been this week? Did you kill any players?
I've been well. A little tired. I'm insomnia's kicking my butt, But other than that, playing games. Let's see. I've been doing my daily in STO. I don't think I've missed a day. I could be wrong. Because normally when I miss a day, I really miss a day. But I've kind of again still been a little chill on STO, trying to get stuff done in the game, but yet not push it hard, so I get burnout. Outside of STO, I mean, I've been playing Satisfactory again. It for those that know what that game is, or don't know what that game is, I guess would be. It is a factory simulator game, I guess would be a good way to put it. If you've ever played Factorio, it is similar-ish to that.
Is it actually enjoyable, or is it merely satisfactory?
I mean, it all depends on your perspective on things. I enjoy the game a lot. I haven't played it in a long time, so it is still considered early access, but they have added a lot to it, and it is interesting to see the new stuff and things. Like when I was last playing it, they had just added in trains. Since then, they've added in like drones that you can use and other stuff to basically do trains. And drones are good for hauling your resources from point A to point B. So if you want to make a mega factory, you could drive in, fly in, all the resources. But outside of that, WoW's been taking a chiller in rating. But yeah, we've been cool on it because we've got ahead of the curve, and now we're just, I guess, goofing off until the new content comes. Nikodas, what have you been up to, and how have you been?
Oh, I'm next?
Sure.
Me? Why am I? No, I'm kidding. I didn't kill any players either. I played D&D for the first time in a couple months, which is unfortunate. Unfortunate that it's been so long, not that we played. I suppose I should clarify that. This was mostly an RP episode, but the players seemed to have a good time. And considering our next session is probably going to be heavy combat, I was okay with a little bit of a lighter session. But again, everybody said they had fun, so we're good with it. Other than prepping for that and taking the time to set all that up, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3, and it's pretty much absorbed my life at this point. I am playing a monk as a solo character. I have a fighter in a game with my wife, and I have a bard in a game with a very good friend of mine. And we've been having fun. I am currently stuck In my solo game, I have reached a fight that I can't win.
Have you tried the bomb method?
Yeah, the what is it? An owl bear that you drop on people?
No.
Oh,
There is
well,
another bomb method. You grab a bag, a sack that you can throw, and then you fill it full of all the various potions that you've collected over time and whatnot. Throw this bag of potions, then use an explosive arrow on it, so then it goes off at the feet of the bad person, and all the potions just explode and do bad things.
I would have to buy back a whole bunch of potions because I use those for money. And I'm that being said, I'm currently sitting on 10,000 gold, so I suppose I could do that. I'll have to look into that. The issue isn't that it's a single big bad. If it was a single big bad, there are some tricks you can do without cheating to take care of it, such as what Greebog just described. It's a room full of enemies, and there are so many casters, and they're all spread out. Even though I have a small army of NPCs helping me, I have not yet been able to win this fight. At least not with people dying who shouldn't be dying. So I don't know. I may have to leave and level up and then come back and try it again. But that's where I'm at right now. And that's mostly been my week. Tabby, you're up.
Well, I've been getting back into WoW a little bit since my trip. Well, I'm finally getting over my the cough that's been lingering from my cold, so that's been awesome. Getting a little bit back into WoW, doing those whelpling daycare, the dragon daycare dailies, and I've been doing STO, of course, been doing my daily event stuff. And I've also been playing the beta of a game that I've been playing for a little while, since the beginning of the month. Went into open beta on the 10th, a week ago, called Palea, and it is freaking amazing. I love it so much. It's kind of like if like Stardew Valley had a World of Warcraft kind of aesthetic to it. So it's like Stardew Valley. It's like a Stardew Valley if it was an MMO with like a with a WoW environment.
Interesting.
So I've just like the residents of the village kind of have like this, are like kind of like a like purplish kind of almost night elf looking people, and and so um and so I've been just kind of like running around and building my house and planting my crops and exploring and climbing and gliding around the landscape, and it's been amazing. And while talking to the villagers and learning about everything, and of course it's also free to play too. So hint hint, nudge nudge.
Understood. All right. Well, this week in STO, there's a few things to talk about. The first thing is the timeline needs you. Now, this is the Temporal Agent event. This is currently only active on the console side of things, Xbox and PS5. You can create temporal agents until August 22nd. These are the TOS era characters only. And then, as always, once you receive your Tesseract device, you are a temporal recruit. And at that point, you have an unlimited amount of time to complete the objective. Once a temporal recruit, always a temporal recruit. Even if you were to trash the Tesseract device, you can get another one for free. So
more accurately, the timeline still needs you, but not for much longer.
correct. Many objectives, once you completed, reward account-wide unlocks, which you can then claim on other characters, even characters that you had before you made the temporal recruit. So If you haven't done one yet, it's well worth it.
All right. Do you believe in a no-win scenario? As the song is stuck in my head, I'm sorry, y'all. I guess it could.
Which song?
Do you believe in what, life after love or something like that?
Do you believe in love? Love
Oh.
after love?
Sure.
Do you believe in love after love?
That's stuck in my head. It's fine. And hello, Vendale. So yes, the no-win scenario has started. It is ongoing. It goes to the 31st. You only need 14 completions to get the reward. So, and that's doing the Arena Sompek or Kobayashi Maru scenario. These have been set up so they only go for 7 rounds for the ground 1 Arena Sompek. And the Kobayashi Maru goes for, I believe, 6 rounds. So it's not the infinite. The reward is interesting to me for the fact that we are getting something from the Prodigy show called the Protostar Experimental Space Set, which gives you a covariant or a multiplicative covariant shield, Omni Beam Phaser, dual warp core, and then also, and also a singularity core. It should be interesting to see how the all that plays out. You also will get 3 featured TFO boxes, which you can then pick, I believe, probably either an upgrade or you can pick a specialization point. I think I always pick specialization points for captains that need them. And of course the 25k dilithium, and then you can keep doing the daily once you've completed it to get more dilithium every day after that. This is also part of the event campaign, and so you get 50 points towards the event campaign as you move forward. So for those of you like me, I have 5 days left to complete my campaign. So by completing this event, I will complete my campaign for the year.
I can't wait to get it and throw warp cores at people.
Throwing warp core.
Like, I'm never going to use any other set because that is never going to get old.
Even if it's not the meta, yeah, I agree. That's going to be really fun. Tabby, you got the next announcement there.
So August 17th, that is today, through August 21st, you get it's an upgrade weekend, double technology points for so if you've been sitting on upgrade tokens and research stuff, and now's the time to use them to try and get your stuff up to gold. And cash in those prize packs and tokens to get those Phoenix upgrades.
It almost makes the new Phoenix upgrades as good as the old ones. Almost.
Almost.
All right. There's an R&D and DOF sale from today, August 17th to August 21st. So literally just the weekend. You get 20% off R&D resource packs and DOF packs. The R&D 4-pack will be back temporarily only during this sale. And it will also give some R&D materials for the advanced consoles and batteries, which I believe is also only during this event. These are promo gamble packs, so there is a chance to get a promo ship from this if you are very, very lucky.
All right. And as you can see with me floating outside of Earth Space Duck, yeah, they spaced me. You can see all of these chevrons showing off where all the various ships are. For Star Trek Day from August 10th to the 24th, the museum is back. And you can also go to DS9 to also see the museum. If you go and talk to all of the ships, you get an accolade. So go talk to all the ships for a free accolade. Also, it
dispense dilithium fuel.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do the chevrons dispense dilithium fuel?
No, not the same chevrons. it is neat to see what quotes that they put, because they take actual audio clips from shows, movies, and whatnot, like, you know, and use them to when you go talk to the ship, or I guess interact with the ship, and it will play you the audio clip. So
They've added the Cerritos,
yes,
the
Oh,
Cerritos.
was
Sorry.
the Stargazer's here, the Cerritos is here. I think they added, and here, let me go over this way. I think they added another Enterprise.
did they add the
Oh,
G?
they did.
They have the F here. I don't see the G.
They have the new Stargazer. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I thought they had the Stargazer last year.
It
And there's the Enterprise F, which is always fun to see. The Discovery.
I
Yeah.
think we
That's
I know I think Strange New Worlds Enterprise is out here too. I don't know if that was new last year or this time.
cool.
But-
There's Voyager.
Yeah, there's a Strange New Worlds Enterprise. Disco.
Nice. All right, cool. Anyway, yeah, that's always a fun little thing they do. And there's an accolade if you talk to all of them.
Kelvin.
All right. That's all for the announcements. So we can get into our primary target here. You guys ready to move on?
Let's do it.
Sure. Oh no, I'm
Greenwald,
not
you
using the
have-
meta devices.
You have the honor of talking about the meta.
All right, so first we're going to talk to you about first we're talking about the meta the space devices. These are all the three, well, depending upon the ship, depends on how many device slots you get. It could be one. I think the smallest amount is 2 per ship. And then I've seen ships that go up to I think 5.
I think
So-
5 is the max.
But some of the ones that you want to look for, if you can, I would say it would be the Kobayashi Maru transponder. Now, this was an old event one. It is now in the mud store. I would never, if you're going to buy it, never buy it unless it's 75% off.
Which is right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Though it still is. Maybe it's because I already have it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's 2,000 Zen when it's 75% off. So $20. It's on that line of I'm not 100% sure if I would be willing to pay the $20 for it or not, but I already have it, so that might be altering my desire. Or thought process of whether or not it would be worth it. I don't know that I would pay. My thought is still I don't know if I'll pay $20. Anyway, moving on. Red Matter Capacitor. This comes with Phoenix Prize Pack. You need a very rare prize token to get it. Also available on the Vulcan Experimental Scout ship, which is a lockbox ship and is in one of the mud packs. You'd have to buy the mud pack and make sure to pick the Vulcan Experimental Scout ship. I would probably just get it off of the getting a very rare prize token is not hard to do. Simple enough, easy to get. I highly recommend it for a nice cheap way of getting stuff. I don't know. Let's see. The Deuterium Surplus. I do have the ability to craft this. This is a crafted one. And you have to complete the defense contract in the Alhena System. But before you can even complete that, you have to have completed the skirmish mission in the Spectres story arc. Let me pull up the map, and I will show you. It is on the bottom. Oh, I don't think it shows up unless you're in sector space. It is down here south of New Kara. I believe just on the left side of where Forcus is. But
here, I'll jump out here real quick.
But basically, once you've completed the skirmish mission, you go to that system. It'll ask you if you want to do like a patrol or start a mission there. You just choose yes and go in. You'll have to fight off some enemies. It's fairly simple. You can even loot the deuterium supplies while you're there to get some of these surplus right then and there. It will also, once you complete, give you the recipe. You'll automatically get the recipe.
It's yeah, I don't know where it's at. You can't search it up without setting a course. So let me see where this sends me.
It should be right on the south. Okay, another one is the Reactive Armor Catalyst. This is another crafted. You have to have completed Broken Circle from the Iconian War arc, and then you will get that.
Oh, yeah, it is. Okay.
It's right. It's on the very bottom of the map. Yeah, in the Bereth sector, right there.
Yep, all the way south of Drazana, south of Starbase 157, all the way down there. But yeah. There you go.
The next device is the Temporal Negotiator. This is a very handy device, because bridge officer cooldowns, reduces your bridge officer powers. So that way you can do fire at will more often, or beam overload, or whatever. Any of it, all the goods. This comes from the Delta Recruit, and yeah, use it as you need for extra cooldowns. Now, the next one, I can show you an R&D, I think. I believe I've gone. So we have in the energy weapons, we have the energy amplifier. This does, there's an advanced version that is new. I'll talk about that in just a second. The base one works fine, doesn't take any special resources to make, fairly easy to make. A lot of people use them trying to push DPS numbers, especially if you're doing a directed energy weapon build. Now, the advanced variant requires the special stuff to make it that you only get from the elite TFOs, or from when they're doing the R&D sale 4-pack stuff. Now, I would, in my opinion, while yes, the added bonus of the shield pin on this one is nice, unless you're doing elite TFOs, or you're going to dump a ton of money trying to get promo ships and you get a bunch of the R&D packs, I don't know that I'd bother. Just saying. If you're doing elite TFOs and pushing numbers, then probably the advanced energy amplifier is better. Same with the exotic particle flood. If you're going to do an energy weapons build, these are very nice because it boosts up your bonus exotic damage. Also crafted here, as you can see. There is the advanced variant. To me, think this one is barely better than the other one. Enough so that the added resource costs and difficulty to get said resource, not worth it. But that's just my opinion, because it only gives the advanced one just goes to +5 auxiliary power, which is very little.
I mean, I guess if you really want the +5 aux. So that's the meta. We did come up with a list of some alternatives in case you don't have access to the meta and don't want to spend like the Zen or the Phoenix packs or whatever. There's the subspace field modulator that you get from Spectres Skirmish. You have to run that anyway if you want to get the surplus. So you know that's something you can pick out. It is a device, and it gives you a defense, an extra defense clicky. The Scorpion Fighters, you get this from the Vault, and yes, I know people hate the Vault, but the Scorpion Fighters, I use them. I know they're not meta, but
They're
it's
nice.
I like
like
them, and they're free, and all you have to do to get another 50 of them is go run the mission. And again, I know people hate the Vault, but there you go. There was a rechargeable shields battery. This during a mission you could take it off a ship that was handed to you and keep it in your inventory. That has been fixed. You can still find these in the game, however. Maybe you have one already. Occasionally they'll be on the exchange somewhere in the ballpark of 500 million. So they're still around if you really, really want one. Personally, I don't think it's worth it, but I thought it was worth mentioning. And then the recent event we had gave us this little device, the Flagship Distress Frequency Transponder. If you have nothing else to slot in a device slot, it's fun to have around. Again, it's not meta, but if you have it, use it. Tabby, you're up for for consumables.
I'm up for batteries.
Yep, for batteries.
All right, so so there are a number of consumable devices that you probably have overflowing in your bags every time you run a TFO. Auxiliary engine, shields, or weapons, random drops. They are not that great. I always just vend them. I actually don't currently have any in my inventory at the moment to show you.
I do.
Oh, you do?
Over on my screen. I keep them until there's a stack of 20, and then I vendor the stack.
I get rid of them all immediately. Like I don't want to see them. I hate them. I get rid of them.
I used to sell them on the exchange because they used to sell, but anymore I just vend them when they get to a stack of 20. So there you go.
Yeah, they're not worth using. Like, so just get rid of them. You got the crafted stuff that Nikodas just talked, or that Greebog just talked about, like the exotic particle flood, as well as some others like the energy amplifier, hull patch, kinetic amplifier, shield resilience boost, targeting lock. Those are all crafted. Those are better than the drop versions. Then you have combo variants, weapons and auxiliary, shields and engines, auxiliary and shields, engines and auxiliary. Those cost 1 Lobi. Don't spend Lobi crystals on consumables.
Especially those.
Yeah, especially those. Just don't spend your Lobi crystals on those.
If you want to piss away your Lobi, you can just flush. Oh, I mean.
So those, as I understand it, the drops give you 75 plus 75 in their appropriate like box, engine, shields, weapons. The combo variants do the same thing. It's just that it gives the boost to 2 of them instead of 1. Still not really worth it.
Yeah, just don't worry about it. That 75 is not going to help. It's not going to make or break anything. You'll be fine without it. Then you have some deployable devices. Torpedo platforms and satellite turrets from duty officer missions. I actually use these. I've never seen a torpedo platform, honestly. But I've got tons of satellite turrets. I usually on each of my Klingon characters that I'm like focusing on endeavors for. I keep a stack of satellite turrets of each damage flavor for when I do X type of damage in space to help me get that type of space damage. I'll go into a TFO and I'll drop that flavor of damage turret and it'll help me a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's not much, but I mean, it's a little bit. And they die so quick though. Oh my god. They're fun.
I mean, if you have nothing else to slot, might as well use them, right?
Yeah. And like in TFOs where you are sitting in one place, like Borg Disconnected or the Lucari Gauntlet or or Swarm or something like that, where you're just kind of sitting and defending a point, drop a turret. Why not?
Citizens.
Okay, the other thing that we wanted to mention here for space devices aren't really devices. They used to be at one point in time, and then they were patched so that they're not anymore. And that is the distress calls or the beacons. I have two of them on me right now. I have the phased waveform, which summons a bunch of Herc,
I love
and
that one.
the Nimbus Pirate distress call, which you get pirate ships to come and heal you and fight and stuff. Yeah, the Herc one's fun. It summons a small little army of Herc ships. You may, if you watched our PvP episode, I used that in the shuttles. It was fun. There are two others that you can get. There's the Delta Alliance Reinforcement Beacon and the Beacon of Kalos. So the Nimbus Pirates you get from the episode Installation 18. This is in the Romulan Mystery arc. At least it's Romulan Mystery for Feds. I think the Romulans themselves call it something different, but it's in this arc with the Vault and whatnot.
I call
lied.
the Beacon of Kalos the Beacon of Blindness.
Hang on a second. I just told bad information. That is not from the Romulan Mystery. That is from one of the hidden episodes, isn't it? Installation 18.
Okay.
That's the Wasteland.
Yeah, it's part of the Wasteland arc, which is still the Romulans have it as is part of their arc. The rest of us, it is the hidden. So if you're KDF or Fed, anything, it is one of part of that lost and found story arc stuff.
I will fix that in the show notes, but yeah.
Something to note on like the Delta Alliance and the Nimbus Pirate distress call ones is you do not actually have to have them equipped on your ship to be able to use them.
That's true of all of them now.
Forgetting that.
That is true of all of them. They will work from your inventory. So again, Nimbus Pirate distress call from Wasteland Installation 18. The Delta Alliance Reinforcement Beacon is from the Iconian War Broken Circle. The Phased Waveform Beacon is from the Gamma Quadrant Home. And the Beacon of Kalos was an old event reward. It is no longer available at the moment.
Yeah, I have that one, and I love it.
Some people say that it gives off a blinding white light that can be really annoying.
It does.
That's why I call it the Beacon of Blindness.
Some people won't use it because of that, but there are a lot of people that do still use it. So if you have it, again, it doesn't even take up a device slot, so use it. That is pretty much it for space devices. There may be others out there that you find, but these are kind of the important ones. We are going to switch over. I'm going to go down to ESD for this next part. We are going to talk about ground devices for a little bit here. And Greebog, once again, gets to start us off.
Take it away, Greebog.
Ground devices. Oh, I guess I don't get to talk about the... You better have given Tabby the pets.
Oh, I was going to do the pets, but that's fine. We can switch it up.
There's a reason I said that. So, all right. So meta devices. There is a gambling device. Basically, think of Quark trying to make some money. Hey, thank you, Pirate JB, for raiding. Welcome everybody. We're in the middle of recording this week's episode of Fleet Action Report, and tonight we're talking about devices. And right now we're on the ground devices. So ground devices. Back at it. We have the gambling device. Quark was wanting to make money. That's the way I've always rationalized it. So made a Tribble-like device, because it looks like a Tribble roughly, that you can buy it from the Lobby store. It does take the place of a Tribble. Because it does not, it's incompatible with the buffs. Gives you good or bad, depending upon what you roll at the start. A good buff lasts an hour, a bad buff lasts a minute. So you have less time. Then there's the Pavan Healing Crystal, which comes from Joula's Discovery Illusion of Communication mission. I do not have that, I don't think. But there's a...
And what's fun is that one can, if you have the DOF that triggers, the procs on a use of a like a hypospray, the Pavan Healing Crystal can proc that.
She's talking about the EMH Mark 1 because the Pavan Crystal counts as a hypo.
Yeah, the Pavan Crystal counts as a hypo, and you can equip the Pavan Crystal on each of your away team as well, and they'll use it.
And then you'll have EMH running around healing everybody. Like it's a thing.
Yeah, and so I being the masochist that I am, I ran that mission 5 times to get the Pavan Healing Crystal on myself and my away team.
I have not. I have it on one of my bridge officers, but I have not ran it multiple times. I want to, just so I can do that and have an army of EMHs following me around everywhere. I have not done it yet, though. Sorry, Greewog, go ahead.
And now we're the large kit overboosters. The next one, this is a crafted. You get it unlocked at level 10 in the kits and in R&D. As you can see, it gives you more K-perf. And as we all know, more K-perf means more power. If you didn't know K-perf gives you more power, then that's the way pretty much everyone I know stacks ground is K-perf as much as you can. Then from the winter event, you have the frosted boots. So if you like to run fast and slide all over, definitely something for you. I would probably put in something else in here as a backup. If you don't like the boots, you have to be out of combat to use the other one. Then you have
they cancel on combat.
Yeah. So you have the Paradox Corrector for the Delta Recruit from the Delta Recruit. I think I actually have this here. So simple, restore 50% of your max hit points to team, and can resurrect defeated allies, and can be used while defeated. So even if you're on the ground, you can use this. Then if you're Jim Hadar, I think technically anyone can use Ketracel White, but you poison yourself unless you're a Jim Hadar. And when I say you poison yourself, you get debuffs. You get negative effects unless you're a Jim Hadar.
Oh my god, are you using the frosted boots as a cat?
Uh-huh.
That's amazing.
It's really hard to recover.
One of the new ones, and has become a new favorite of mine, is the Terran Knife, which comes from the Terran Gambit arc, the Blue Shift mission. It essentially replaces your tertiary weapon attack. So depending upon what that might have been for your weapon, depends on whether this is good or bad. If it was just hitting someone with the butt of your rifle or gun, then I say it's definitely good, because Okay, wait, here. This is just silly fast on how fast you slash with this knife.
It's actually really good against the Borg.
And then combat pets. Typically, people like to put lots of combat pets. 2 per captain and bridge officer. So this is where I always run with Jasper. Okay, for those new and don't know me, I've nicknamed the bioengineer Ferodian. Well, whatever.
Furiodon.
There you go.
Yeah, the dinosaur.
The dino.
Furiodon.
I have nicknamed him Jasper because that I don't know. That's just me. If it's a pet that I'm going to use all the time, I give it a name.
Jasper the friendly dino.
Yes. And then, talking about combat pets.
Yeah, that's the next list. Tabby, if you want it, you can take it.
Combat pets, yeah. The reason why Greybog wanted to hand combat pets off to me is because I am famous for just like pulling out mass amounts of combat pets. It's kind of my shtick. So yeah, not only do you have the bioengineered Furiodon from Mud's Market, you have the Targ of Grethor from the Zen Store, the Nanopulse War Targ, which is a currently unavailable event reward, and that's actually a 2-piece set. You can use it paired up with the Targ of Grethor from the Zen Store. The Horta from Romulan Mystery. If you run the Mine Enemy mission from Romulan Mystery twice, in the big kind of office there where it has the Romulans and the big square computer section, if you go left there into that cave and kill the things, there's a Horta there. You talk to it the first time, it gives you a duty officer mission, and it returns a non-combat pet. You get that non-combat pet. You run the mission a second time, and then you'll get the actual combat pet. And then and then you've got the Jackal Mastiff that's KDF only from the Manhunt mission in Empire story arc. The A600 series android, which is an event reward, not currently available. Doesn't play well with another pet. Now that one, what do you mean by that one?
So it has to do with the cooldown. On most of the pets, the reason I suggest that everybody has 2 pets is because the cooldowns are offset. So when one's on cooldown, you can summon the other one. And in essence, you can have 2 pets out. The A600 does not let you do that.
Oh, okay.
So I usually throw it on an officer just by itself. I don't know why the cooldown on that is messed up, but it doesn't have the same universal cooldown that all the rest of the pets do.
Okay. Then you have your miniaturized Elachi Walker, which was an event reward, as shown here on my screen. This one, I love this one so much. This one just kind of walks around and like lasers everything in its path. It's just wicked intimidating. And you never lose track of it either. You always know where it is. You have 2 other Hortas, the Icilium Crystal and the Polytrinic Acid Hortas, which are from the Zen Store. So for a total of 3 Hortas. You've got a Combat Trained Tardigrade, which is from the Zen Store. You've got 2 other tardigrades, the Cobalt Tardigrade from the PS4 giveaway, and a Verdant Tardigrade from the Xbox giveaway. And you have various consumable combat pets. There's several available options from various lockboxes in the Phoenix store. But I mean, we have enough non-consumable combat pets that I really don't see. I've really never felt compelled to go after the consumable combat pets, but they're there. They're out there. You can get them from lockboxes, and if you have an overabundance of Phoenix store tokens, you can buy them as well.
I think there might be some from the rep system as well.
There are, yes. The from the Romulan, you can buy some Tal Shiar officers and for the ground, and you can buy some fighters, consumable fighters for the space.
Okay,
For the-
so just to go back to the A600 real quick, sorry to interrupt. Typically, when you click on one pet, any other pets that you have will go on a minute cooldown, while the pet you clicked will go on a 2-minute cooldown. So that's why you alternate. With the A600, it has a minute cooldown. So when you click on it, all other pets will go on a minute cooldown, but so does it. So there's no point to having an alternate. I mean, you can, but you might as well just use the one and just consistently resummon it.
Well, and the A600 also will just despawn eventually. It falls over dead, while other combat pets will stay active until they get killed.
True.
Or
Sorry for the interruption.
maybe 5
Oh,
minutes
no, it's okay.
pass. I don't.
Yeah, I am done.
Okay. So again, we came up with a list of alternative devices. Several of these were event rewards. Some are still available, some are not. Some have gone into MUDs. The Shard of Possibilities, which summons copies of your captain or bridge officer. I am using this currently. There we go. And they'll start dancing. The Temporal Flux Generator. This is from the Iconian War, Time in a Bottle. The Biothermal Dampener is a fun one. This is from the Cold Case Breen mission. It's basically a reusable frost grenade. It doesn't deal damage, but it will freeze your enemies. The Confederation Com Badge, which is in the Lobby store. Basically, it's a ninja throwing star in the form of a com badge. There is an experimental anti-Borg device. This is given on Defera during the field functionality figures mission. The trick to this is if you complete the mission, the anti-Borg device will go away. If you drop the mission, it will not. So you can bug out the game and keep this and use it on other missions.
Oh,
if you
what does the anti-Borg device do?
I believe it just deals damage to Borg drones.
Cool.
Tabby likes this one. The fire suppression device. This is
I
from
love this one so much.
the episode Researcher Rescue in the Klingon War. You can get it, throw it in your inventory, carry it around. It will put out other fires in the game on other missions. And it will turn off some debuffs, some damage over time effects, if you use it on yourself or on one of your officers and they're like burning with plasma
Actually, you
fire.
cannot use it on yourself.
No, but you can give it to a bridge officer and they'll use
Yes.
it on you repeatedly.
Constantly.
There is a flare. This is just kind of a fun thing to have. It comes from the Gamma Quadrant episode, Tenebris Torquent. There's a flashlight. Now, this used to be very common. It's not anymore. There's really only 2 missions you can get it from: the Starbase Incursion or the Defend Regio Station. Again, this used to be really common. It used to have a lot of missions that would give you a flashlight. And if you do any of the Spectres arc, there's an episode in there that will give you one of these, but it takes it away at the end too. So if you want a permanent one, it's from those 2 episodes or those 2 missions: Starbase Incursion or Defend Regio Station. Then we get into, everybody knows about the frequency remodulators. There are several episodes that make you get those out of a box or replicator. There is also a fractal remodulator, which works a little bit better. and you can purchase those in the Defera invasion zone if you so choose. Personally, I find it easier just to equip a weapon that bypasses shields and go after the Borg with that. But if you like your weapons, there you go.
Oh, right. Consumable devices. There's a cryo grenade. This is from Defera Prime. I get there's a vendor there?
There is a vendor there.
Okay.
Apparently, it's random when they show up.
Maybe that's why I don't always remember that they're there.
I know you can also get it from one of the Breen episodes as a reward, but you only get one, and you like throw it and it's gone.
There are all kinds of foods. They drop everywhere. Whether or not there is one reason to keep it, and that will be the next section on whether or not you would keep any food. If you're breeding tribbles, that's when you keep food. If you're not, I never find the food very beneficial. Just saying. Hypos, there are also many different types of hypos. They all provide healing. And then there's also the there's power cells there are all kinds of consumables. Like even nano energy cells like that you get from there's tons of consumable devices in this game for various things. Some you can craft, some you don't. A lot of people don't tend to go for the consumables for the fact that they get consumed and then you have to get more. You can do quite well on ground missions without having any consumables, just going with the standard reusable devices.
I tend to stay away from anything that's consumable.
I guess there's something to note in the Omega store. There is consumables that you can buy. They cost you dilithium. Apparently it's 25 dilithium unless your fleet has the discount, then it drops it down to 21. This is the advanced power cell, which is anti-proton carrier wave, which gives you increases anti-proton damage and then more crit severity. And crit severity is always nice, though.
For consumable devices, that was the only one for ground that I actually saw people talking about from the perspective that they'll use it. Most of the other consumable devices, people are just writing off these days.
Well, like I said, if you have to go get more of them, and then, I'm not trying to poo-poo on it, but, sure, there might be some out there that you found that work really well for you. Great. Use them. I'm not a big fan of consumables, because then I'm going to forget to go restock up, and then I'll run out in the middle of a mission or TFO or,
Tabby, you want the tribbles or you want me to take it?
I can take the tribbles.
Have at it. Talk about those lovely little breeding machines.
The lovely little tribbles. There are many tribbles available. Many of them are Zen Store purchased. Some of them are pre-order or tribble test server rewards, and those are no longer available. There is an entire in-game tribble breeding system, mini-game thing that involves combining tribbles and food and letting tribbles eat certain kinds of food, and then carefully combining and nurturing and things like that. And there's probably somebody who has that all charted out.
Oh yes.
What's that?
Chart. Oh yes, there are charts.
There are charts, but that is outside of the scope of this particular episode.
So I wanted to point out real quick, through breeding, the best tribble that you can get is called the Rivera. This is available in the Zen store for 300 Zen. So they tossed it in here. You can craft, or you can spend all the time to breed the tribbles and get the Rivera if you want to do it for free, or you can spend $3 and buy it out of the Zen store. Obviously, the devs have written off tribble breeding as a thing. They just want you to go spend the money, and here you go.
I mean, there's something to be said for doing it yourself, though.
Well, and they still left that option in the game. It is still there, and yes, you can find charts and stuff if you so desire. I've done it, but they also, a long time ago, they gave the Rivera away as a promotion reward, which I got, so I can throw the Rivera on every character for free.
Oh, nice.
But that's me. Most people can't. It was a pre-order bonus. There you go. It's right there. The Polygeminus Grex Rivera, right there. And I don't even use it anymore because I use, like, the gambling device or whatever.
Yep. And if you don't like tribbles clogging up your inventory, there's the cannibal tribble that you just kind of let sit in your inventory, and it will eat the other tribbles that appear and leave behind dead tribble carcasses that you then discard.
And those are available.
No. You send them to a KDF tune, and then they can do a duty officer mission to get rid of the carcasses, and I believe they get dilithium for it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
There you
go. Okay. Oh, and I'm up here. I'm seeing in the show notes that we actually do have an entire episode about tribble breeding. So you can look at our look back on our YouTube channel for our tribble breeding episode.
If you're interested in it, yes, and I believe we have a link to a chart as well.
Yeah, we put a chart up and everything. That there is all kinds of stuff in that episode.
Craziness, right?
More about tribbles than you would ever want to know.
I also want to point out, for those who may not have watched it yet, there is an episode of Short Treks that explains exactly why the Klingons hate tribbles. It is well worth the watch.
Oh, yes. That is such a great episode.
It's well worth the 15 minutes of time you'd have to spend to watch the episode.
Oh yeah, the rainbow tribble from the event store as well.
There's two notable tribbles from the summer event. One gives you
there's three tribbles in the event store.
One gives you a boost tribble to your flying speed with your hover.
Oh yeah, I have that one.
Now there's the Endorian tribble, which let's see. Oh, apparently the Endorian tribble is unafraid of Klingons.
Oh yeah, that's because they wanted to have something that the KDF could use. Yeah. I believe the rainbow tribble may be another way to get the Rivera. Don't quote me on that. All right, so I think that covers devices, both ground and space. No fighting action in this episode, but we'll make up for that down the line.
We could go do fighting. Oh, I guess we are at time.
We are. You guys want to do the daily? I don't mind knocking the daily out real quick.
Sure.
All right, we'll go blow stuff up. We can do that.
Let's go destroy some things. Let's go murder. Yeah, it looks like all three of the summer event tribbles are unafraid of Klingons.
Most of the special tribbles these days are usable on KDF characters, just because it was easier for the devs to do that. That being said, I don't know if the Rivera is. I would have to double check that. The regular tribbles will not work on KDF characters. If you try to force it, they will just scream.
Which those that, if any of you watched me running a KDF recruit way back and giggling every time I found a tribble and gave it to one of my KDF bridge officers.
Okay, I didn't get the wee woo. There we go.
Uh-oh.
Got it.
So yes, I had a tribble screaming every so often, and I giggled.
Tribbles were an interesting thing back when the game launched, because like KDF characters could only level through PvP. Like that was their shtick. And if you did ground PvP, the Federation had an advantage, because the Fed characters would all have tribbles, which would give them buffs. And like the Rivera gives a 1% boost to all damage. It gives a 1% resistance to all damage. Which 1%'s not a lot, but it can make a difference. So yeah, on ground, Fed characters had an advantage. In space, not as much.
I feel like the odd one out.
Why?
There's 3 Odysseys in here, me and then one other person in a different ship.
You're in a big ship, though. It's actually bigger than the Odyssey, isn't it?
Yes.
What is that third ship? Oh, is that the Disco Prize? And somebody just summoned their Klingons.
Yep. See that's what that's the proof.
Speaking of blindness,
I wish we had a jellyfish in here.
I ran this earlier today and somebody had a jellyfish.
It makes this so much cheese. The first day of this event that I ran this, there was 3 jellyfish, me in this ship, and then somebody was in I think it was an Iconian ship.
Get ready for another
and the jellies just cheesed this whole thing. We ended with the Kobayashi Maru still at 100%.
Uh-oh. I'm friendly firing now.
Makes me want to do that when this is not on the event, just to see how high we could go.
There probably would hit I don't know. I was like, there might be a limit. I'd have to do a good setup on my
next wave is incoming.
A better setup on my jellyfish.
I may have to try it and just see what happens. I mean, heck, that could even be a setup. Like, we could set it up and then like go to work, or go to sleep and then come back 8 hours.
That would be hilarious.
Do a 24-hour stream where that's all we do, sit in here.
The next wave is incoming.
I think that would get a little boring after a while. I might have to try it though.
The weapon recharger fix is active.
Man, if we could get a whole team, do 5 jellies with overlapping fields of fire. Try to cover, as much as the map as we possibly could. Did I lose you guys?
It's
Nope.
not over yet. The next wave is coming.
He's not talking.
Enemy assault incoming.
Nope, I'm still here.
The onslaught.
Okay.
You kept going and going, so I let you go.
I'm just saying. That'd be kind of fun, don't you think? Oh, get out of there.
Me and my nimble big ship. Yes, for those that don't know, after I one of the episodes I was talking with Nikodas, we were comparing my movement ability on this ship that I have set this up to an escort, and I'm not far off from an escort.
Nice.
Though it is, I am running cannons, so that is why I stacked a lot of high movement on this, so I could run cannons and be okay.
For what it's worth, guys, even though we didn't have a jelly to cheese it, we actually pulled this off pretty good.
Is incoming. All right, everyone. This simulation
Is it still at 100%? No, it's still
about 70.
That's amazing.
Ended with about 70. That's pretty good. We make a good team. All right. I unfortunately do need to take off. So let's go ahead and end this. Next week, we are going to be covering crafting and upgrading. Now, we did that early on in our first year, but we feel it's worth revisiting, especially since we have an upgrade weekend going on. Unfortunately, the show will miss that. But, you know, we can talk a little bit about it and explain how you would want to go about upgrading your gear if you don't already know.
You can take all the information and save it for the next show, or for the next weekend.
And then the show after that, we're going to cover a phaser build. That's going to be fun.
Yep, because we will have the new the phaser equipment from the Protostar set.
And this will be another collaborative build. So it's going to be, you know, one build instead of three, and kind of a build take on it. And I'm voting for the Terran Lexington because I think we all three have it.
No, I don't have a Terran Lexington.
I thought that's what you were just flying.
Nope.
Okay, I'll have to look at ships then. I'll have to update my list.
Nikodas. I'm messing with you.
I'm just checking. I thought you had it, but I wasn't going to second guess.
Because I've got it like pulled up on the screen right now where it says Terran Lexington.
Teach me to pay attention to our stream, right? I had the notes pulled up. Fair enough. All right, I'm gullible. I'll take that one.
All righty.
As always, I will leave you guys with the words of Q. See you out there.
Have fun, be safe, and don't set yourselves on fire.
Go support us at Ko-fi.com/Greebog. That is how we roll with support now. Live long and prosper. Live long and prosper, everybody. We will catch you Monday.
Stick around for the after show. We're going to raid somebody.